Hello everybody, welcome to Askyoda webinar. I want to thank you for joining in, and today we are here to solve your queries on MS Office tools such as Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, macros and so on. What's your immediate benefit? Well, we've been training professionals at several blue chip companies over the last few years. Names such as Uber, Hindustan Unilever, Tata Group of Companies, ITC, PricewaterhouseCoopers. We have trained multiple batches, and the experience that we have gathered we'll definitely want to share with you. By the way, if you're already an existing student of YodaLearning.com, you would have known that we solve your queries through email, and we do that fast. So let's get started with this webinar session.
Thank you, Rishabh. Welcome everyone to this webinar. My name is JK. So I'll be the Yoda Guru for the day. I welcome you all to this webinar. Let's get started with the queries. Here I have received one query and I have made a small trick based on the query itself. First, we are going to go to the trick. Once we understand the trick, then we are going to use that trick into the query. Let's see. The trick that I'm going to show today is the comparison between Vlookup and index with a combination of match. I'll be using match in the query step. Let's see. What is index and match? As we all know, Vlookup is quite a good formula to fetch a data, but the condition is the parameter that we are looking at should be the first column. It cannot be anywhere in the middle. Currently, CO name is the base value that I'm expecting to have, but which is in the middle. So what I can do if I'm using Vlookup is I can only have C and D column as my answers. But what if I want to look backwards? That's where index comes in the picture. Let's see how index works. So here, what I'm gonna do is I'm putting a formula index that's equals index. Index has quite two formulas provided, of which we are going to use the first one. The first one says array, row number and column numbers. Array is the range or the area from where the data has to be fetched. Then we have to mention the row number and the column number from where the data has to be intersected and captured. Now, I have created two cells which are providing me the row number and the column number. Currently, I'm looking out for the third row, the third column. That should bring me 2800 as the value. Let's see. So first, I'll select the cell which has row number, that is 3, comma, then column number, that is 3. Once done, I'll close the bracket, press an enter. There it is. So as of now, it's giving me 2800 as the intersected value. If I change the numbers, that is, if I change the column numbers to 2, it should give me red. That's an intersection part. Now the best part is I can also go to the left. Say if I put it 1, there it is. My data is given its respective answers. So here, if you are using index, it's no longer limited that the data or the field which is the base should be the first column. It can be anywhere, but still we can fetch the data. Isn't that fascinating? Now, I'll take a pause over here. Suggest me the formulas that I can use at the place of row and column to get these numbers. Go on, give it your best. Okay, yes, count is one of the good option. Oh, that's good. Even row, yes, row, column, that's also one of the best answers. Good one. Okay, fine. Good to have some relevant answers. Here, I'll be using another formula called match. Now, how does match works over here? Match requires a parameter. Like say, if I'm looking for red, I'll just write red anywhere. And I'll say I'm looking for the red parameter. So I'll say equals match. It's almost equal to Vlookup. If you look into the attributes, it says lookup value, lookup array, and the parameter. So lookup value is the red that we are looking out for. Then lookup array is the range from where we are looking in. But do remember, the larger or the screen, how big it is, that is for the match or the index, it remains the same. What I'm trying to convey here is, if for index the selection is the whole table including the heading, then in match you also have to include the heading. If for index the selection is just the data, then for match also the selection should only be the data excluding the heading. So here, as I have included the whole data including the heading, so I'll be selecting from the heading. So here what I'm asking match is, get me the position of the red from the given column, comma, how do I want the position? I would like to go with the exact, so I'm putting up 0, bracket close, enter, and there it is. So as of now it's giving me red. If I change the color to something else like blue, so the answer changes for the row number, and that in turn gives me the relevant answer, that is 10,300. Same, I can use it for the columns as well. Now let's see how to use this in an actual data in the query. I'm not saving this file so that you people can also use the same to practice. The link will be mentioned in the chat box itself. Let's see what the query is. So Bob has requested that he would like to learn how to use a drop box and to get a relevant data. Let's see. So here is a sample file that I've created. I've just already created the drop downs over here. Okay, so I'll just show you the database. So this is the data. What I've done here is I've put in some brands and just mentioned some basic parameters like basic, medium, and large. So depending on what kind of vehicle I'm looking out for, the cost varies. I've just used a random formula to just populate these numbers. These are not actual numbers. Now let's see how to work it out. Now, it does not matter whether the column is somewhere in the middle or anywhere, so still the answer will work. Before going further, I have just done some presets to my data. One, I have named my entire brand as brand, the type over here as type or category we can go with, and the amount as amounts. So it will make me easy to work with this data. I don't have to come back to the data and do the same. Now to create this drop down, I've just selected A2 cell, I went to the data tab, and here I have used data validation. Now many people might have used like data validation by going there and selecting the data. If you are aware of this particular trick, simply go to data. As I have used the name, I just have to mention the name over here. It automatically goes and selects. So you don't have to go to the sheet and select the data. Rather, you can stay in the same sheet and work it out. So here my list is available, that is brands, and what type of vehicle am I looking out for. To get the amount, I've used a formula that was index and match. So what do you suggest? Shall I go with index first or match first? Go for it. Give me your suggestions. Good one. Okay, that's good. Okay, that's good. Okay, so let's get started. Thanks for the valuable input. We'll request that please put it on normal chat rather than on the personal chat so that even others can understand the same. Let's go. The first thing I'll be going with is index, because that's the main formula, and within them match gives me the column and the row numbers. So here is how it is done. First, index, as always, area. So from which area am I looking out for? So that's the amount area I'm looking out. So as we can see, as I have named it, there is a small yellow tab that appears. That's an indicator, that's a name range. So just press the tab key from the keyboard, that automatically appears. It's not necessary that has to be written manually. You can also go, if you are used to selection, simply go to the data and select. But in my case, automatically it will convert into amount because I've named it as amount. Anyways, that's totally okay. So I'll just redo the task. So okay, you might be thinking what happened just now. See, whenever there is a selection and if I switch to the sheets, automatically the active sheet names are taken by default. So it's totally okay if such thing happens. Just simply do a backspace and redo the formula. That will do it. Now, from the amount, which row am I looking out for? Now here, what is in the row is the question. So the brand is something that's in the row, one below the other. So I'll be using the brand as my row label. Again, if I just put in brand or if I just select the brand, it is not going to help me. Here, I have to ask a formula to help me. So I'm going to use the match. So match provides me the column numbers and the row number. In the current example, it will be going with the row numbers. So let's see. So I will ask match to look in for this particular brand. So just remove, it's okay, that's not a big deal. So just remove this name. Now, after putting the brand and the conditions, from where do I have to look in for the brand? So under the brand or the category. So if in case you forget the names, don't worry, simply go to the formula and from the drop down you can select the category. So here's the brand, so I can just click and there it is. So look in for the Audi from the brand column that is given the name as brand and looking for the exact answer. Once done, I close the bracket. Now that will only provide me the row number. I would also like to know the column number based on the parameter that I select for the type. Again, here also it's the position, so I'll go with match. I'll look in for B2. Now here I'm looking out for medium as in types, so I'll say look in from types. So be careful because I have used the same as a formula, so just be remembered that whenever there is a tag to the left, that's the name range that we are gonna use. Once done, 0, bracket close. So here is a small mistake that most of the people do. That is, once you close the match, you simply press an enter. Now do not go with an enter. As of now, the bracket that we have closed is only for the match. The best way to remember is the last bracket when the color becomes black. That's the indicator that the formula is completed. Until and unless we do not see a black bracket, that means the formula is still incomplete. Just to correct, here the bracket, that's the red bracket, is actually for the match. Now you might have a question, there's another red bracket. See, but remember, once a bracket opens, it retains its color until it gets closed. As the red bracket were closed, the color is being given to the another one, and so on. But see, the black is not yet been closed. That means it is not yet been completed. So once you close the black bracket, and there it is, the formula is complete. So now when I press an enter, I do get the relevant answer. So if I go with Audi with a large size, so there it is. Let's see for another brand like say BMW. Yep. So that goes with the cost like basic, medium and large. If you like the video, please do comment to the chat box, and if you have any kind of queries relevant to MS Office or any of such that matters, if you have any kind of queries, please feel free to mail us on our IDs. Rishabh, back to you. Thank you everyone once again.
Hope you learned a lot in this webinar. Well, if you liked what you saw, you would also like 900 plus video tutorials that we have built on topics such as Excel Ninja, macros, dashboard, PowerPoint Ninja, Word Advanced, Outlook, Python, SQL, Access, and the list goes on. In fact, you should know what are the privileges of being a premium member at yodalearning.com. First, you get a lifetime access to all our courses. Yes, it's not 6 months, it's not 1 year. you get lifetime access so that you can watch it anytime if you feel you wish to catch up or brush up on some of the topics you learned few years back. Second, you also get lifetime support along with lifetime access. So after watching the video, if you get stuck at any point, you can email us and get those queries solved. This webinar is one prime example of such initiative. Third, we keep on adding new courses and keep on updating them. If you're a member of the Office Training Bundle Pack, you wouldn't be charged extra for any new course that we keep on adding. It automatically gets added to your course. Number 4. At any given point in time in the first 30 days of your subscription, if you feel that this course is not for you and you're in no way getting benefits, please ask for a refund and we won't ask you any question. We want you to have a fair deal all across. Number 5. Most importantly, the tricks that we have put in our courses are those which you won't find so easily on the internet. I strongly encourage that you go through the table of contents of our Excel Ninja course. You'll see topics such as 3D lookup, 3D data consolidation, flash fill, array formulas, what if analysis along with indirect, how to use offset with match. I challenge you that you find any course on this planet which has all these tricks at one place. My guess is you won't find any. And I know what you're thinking. You would be thinking that I'm going to ask you to subscribe for this course for about $1,000. Well, no. Well, guess what? Today is your lucky day. It's not this amount. You can get this in 3 equal installments, making it far less the value which it is going to give to you. So what are you waiting for? Try for this course and see in the first 4 weeks how much do you get benefit out of it. You can watch the courses from any device. You can watch them again and again and again. Our goal is to make you 4 times faster in MS Office and do those things which normally people can't even think about. So until next time, keep learning. See you next week.